As the global population continues to age rapidly, the international medical community is increasingly focusing its attention on a widespread yet often overlooked condition, sarcopenia. This is a physiological and pathological phenomenon closely linked to aging, nutrition, lifestyle, underlying medical conditions, and environmental factors. Sarcopenia not only compromises quality of life but also contributes significantly to mortality rates, healthcare costs, and broader socio-economic burdens. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, by the year 2050, over 2 billion people worldwide will be aged 60 or older. Among this population, the estimated prevalence of sarcopenia ranges from 10% to 50%, depending on physical activity levels and nutritional status. This trend poses a serious challenge for public health systems and national strategies aimed at elder care. Sarcopenia is not solely a physical issue. It has far-reaching consequences for mental health, mobility, fall risk, fracture incidence, and ultimately the loss of independence in daily living. A 2018 study published in The Lancet revealed that individuals over the age of 70 with low muscle mass are more than twice as likely to be hospitalized or die compared to their peers with adequate muscle mass. While many accept muscle weakness as an inevitable aspect of aging, current scientific evidence suggests otherwise. With proper nutritional and physical interventions, muscle decline can not only be slowed but also stabilized and even reversed. This dissertation is designed to offer a comprehensive, rigorous, and evidence-based analysis of sarcopenia, particularly through the lens of biomedical science and clinical nutrition. As a physician and medical researcher with over 2 decades of experience, I aim to present the latest findings from peer-reviewed studies, combined with practical clinical insights, to provide actionable interventions suitable for both communities and individuals. The body of this work will begin by outlining the physiological foundations of the musculoskeletal system, followed by an exploration of key contributing factors to muscle loss, such as aging, chronic inflammation, malnutrition, and hormonal imbalance. From there, it will delve into specific food groups and nutrients shown to protect or restore muscle tissue. Non-pharmacological strategies, including resistance training, sleep optimization, and mental wellness, will also be examined as essential supportive components. By integrating scientific theory with practical examples, this dissertation aims to establish a realistic and adaptable framework for preserving muscle health, not merely to extend lifespan, but to enhance health span and maintain independence throughout the aging process. 2. The scientific basis of muscle loss. 1. Anatomy and physiology of the musculoskeletal system. The musculoskeletal system serves as the structural foundation for human movement, posture maintenance, metabolic regulation, and internal organ protection. Skeletal muscles, accounting for approximately 40 to 50% of total body mass, are composed of thousands of muscle fibers. Each fiber contains multiple nuclei and mitochondria, which are essential for cellular respiration and energy production. Muscle fibers are organized into sarcomeres, the basic contractile units, formed by actin and myosin filaments. Contraction and relaxation occur through cross-bridge cycling between these filaments, regulated by intracellular calcium signaling and neural input via the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Muscle mass is dynamically regulated through the balance of 2 opposing processes, muscle protein synthesis, MPS, and muscle protein breakdown, MPB. When MPS exceeds MPB, muscle mass increases. When MPB dominates, atrophy occurs. 2. Biological mechanisms of age-related muscle loss. Sarcopenia is a progressive and generalized skeletal muscle disorder primarily associated with aging. It typically begins around the 3rd decade of life and accelerates with advancing age, especially in the absence of intervention. Studies indicate an annual muscle mass loss of 1 to 2% after the age of 30. Key mechanisms include anabolic resistance. Aging reduces the responsiveness of muscle tissue to anabolic stimuli, including dietary protein and resistance exercise. Largely due to impaired mTOR signaling, hormonal decline, serum levels of testosterone, growth hormone, GH, and insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, decline with age, diminishing the body's capacity to maintain muscle mass. Insulin resistance, common in older adults and individuals with metabolic syndrome. This condition hinders nutrient uptake and muscle protein synthesis. Inflammaging, chronic, low-grade inflammation marked by elevated interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF-alpha, promotes catabolism and suppresses anabolic pathways. Mitochondrial dysfunction and oxidative stress, reduced mitochondrial efficiency and increased production of reactive oxygen species, ROS, compromise muscle function and regeneration. 3. The role of protein and essential amino acids in muscle maintenance. Protein provides the necessary amino acid substrates for muscle repair and growth. Essential amino acids, EAAs, particularly the branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, are critical for stimulating MPs. Leucine, in particular, is a potent activator of mTOR, the master regulator of cellular growth and protein synthesis. Evidence from clinical nutrition literature suggests that consuming 2 to 3 grams of leucine per meal optimally stimulates MPs in older adults. High leucine food sources include eggs, dairy, lean meats, and soy products. Furthermore, sulfur-containing amino acids like methionine and cysteine contribute to the synthesis of glutathione, a major intracellular antioxidant that protects muscle cells from oxidative damage. 4. Hormones and enzymes influencing muscle health. Testosterone enhances MPs and inhibits MPB. Its decline is strongly associated with sarcopenia in older men. Estrogen plays a role in maintaining connective tissue integrity and muscle recovery, particularly in postmenopausal women. Cortisol, a catabolic hormone that increases muscle protein degradation during prolonged stress. Myostatin, a negative regulator of muscle growth. Elevated levels are associated with muscle wasting syndromes. 5. Distinguishing sarcopenia from cachexia. While both sarcopenia and cachexia involve muscle loss, they are distinct clinical entities. Sarcopenia is typically age-related and gradual, whereas cachexia is rapid and often associated with chronic illnesses such as cancer, heart failure, or chronic kidney disease. Cachexia is characterized by systemic inflammation, anorexia, and involuntary weight loss, often unresponsive to nutritional interventions alone. In contrast, sarcopenia is largely reversible with appropriate diet, physical activity, and, when indicated, hormonal therapy. 3. Causes of muscle loss, an overview of contributing factors. 1. Aging, an unavoidable but modifiable risk factor. Aging is a natural and inevitable process, but its detrimental effects on muscle mass can be mitigated through targeted intervention. With age, satellite cell function declines, mitochondrial density is reduced, and anabolic hormone levels drop, resulting in decreased regenerative capacity of muscle tissue. A 2019 study published in Aging Cell found that adults over the age of 65 who led sedentary lifestyles experienced up to an 8% decrease in muscle mass per decade, particularly in the lower extremities. This loss of muscle significantly contributes to mobility limitations, increased fall risk, and functional dependence. Additionally, aging is associated with mitochondrial dysfunction, impaired calcium signaling, and reduced neuromuscular junction integrity, all of which accelerate muscle fatigue and decrease contractile efficiency. 2. Poor nutrition and protein deficiency. Nutrition is a central modifiable factor in muscle health. Inadequate dietary intake of protein or essential micronutrients such as vitamin D, magnesium, calcium, and zinc can accelerate muscle protein breakdown and suppress synthesis. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2021, recommends that older adults consume 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, higher than the 0.8 grams/kg recommended for younger adults. However, population data from Europe and North America indicate that over 40% of individuals aged 60 and above fail to meet this threshold. Consequently, the body lacks sufficient amino acid building blocks for repairing and maintaining muscle, accelerating sarcopenia progression. 3. Physical inactivity and prolonged immobilization. Sedentary behavior and physical inactivity are among the leading contributors to muscle atrophy. Muscles operate under the principle of use it or lose it when underused. They undergo catabolic degradation to conserve energy. A study published in the Journal of Physiology, 2017, found that just 14 days of leg immobilization in healthy young adults resulted in a 5% reduction in quadriceps cross-sectional area and nearly a 10% loss of strength. In hospitalized or bedbound patients, muscle wasting occurs even more rapidly, highlighting the importance of early mobilization and rehabilitation protocols. 4. Chronic diseases and systemic inflammation. Chronic illnesses such as type 2 diabetes, chronic heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, cancer, and chronic kidney disease are strongly associated with muscle loss. The common pathways include systemic inflammation, elevated levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, for example, IL-6, TNF-alpha, promote catabolic activity and inhibit muscle protein synthesis. Oxidative stress, excessive reactive oxygen species, ROS, damage mitochondria and structural muscle proteins. Nutrient malabsorption and metabolic inefficiency, particularly in cancer, cachexia and end-stage renal disease. These impair anabolic pathways. A 2020 study in the European Journal of Clinical Investigation found that individuals with type 2 diabetes were 1.8 times more likely to develop sarcopenia compared to their non-diabetic counterparts. 5. Hormonal imbalances and metabolic disruptions. Hormonal regulation is integral to muscle homeostasis. Key imbalances include testosterone deficiency, reduces muscle protein synthesis and increases visceral adiposity. Elevated cortisol, a stress hormone that promotes proteolysis in prolonged exposure. Increased myostatin, inhibits muscle growth and regeneration. Insulin resistance, common in obesity and type 2 diabetes, further diminishes anabolic signaling, blunts postprandial muscle protein synthesis, and slows muscle recovery. 6. Sleep disorders and psychological stress. Sleep plays a vital role in muscle recovery and hormone regulation. During deep sleep, particularly stage N3, growth hormone is secreted, which facilitates muscle repair and growth. Chronic sleep deprivation disrupts this cycle and raises cortisol levels, exacerbating catabolic muscle loss. Psychological stress activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, HPA, axis, elevating cortisol secretion. This not only increases protein breakdown but also reduces motivation for physical activity and contributes to poor dietary habits. 7. Social and behavioral determinants. Socioeconomic status, social isolation, and limited access to nutritious food or fitness facilities can negatively influence muscle health. Older adults living alone may lack the support necessary for meal preparation, grocery shopping, or engaging in regular exercise. Health education, community engagement, and accessible eldercare programs are crucial to overcoming these barriers and ensuring equitable preventive care. 4. The role of nutrition in the prevention and recovery of muscle mass. Among all modifiable factors influencing muscle mass and function, nutrition stands out as one of the most immediate and impactful. A diet rich in high-quality proteins, essential amino acids, and micronutrients, such as vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, and calcium, can significantly slow down or even reverse the progression of sarcopenia. especially in older adults and individuals with chronic diseases. Below is a detailed scientific analysis of food groups and nutrients that play a critical role in muscle maintenance and recovery. 1. Animal and plant-based proteins, the structural foundation of muscle. Protein is the fundamental building block of muscle tissue, while animal-based proteins, from eggs, meat, fish, dairy, are complete proteins containing all essential amino acids in ideal ratios. Plant-based proteins, soy, legumes, chia seeds, can also support muscle health when properly combined to ensure a balanced amino acid profile. Example, a 2022 study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that older adults who consumed 30 grams of animal protein post-workout experienced a 40% greater increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those on the regular diet. 2. Eggs, a complete food for muscle regeneration. Eggs provide all 9 essential amino acids, especially leucine, an amino acid known to trigger mTOR signaling and promote protein synthesis. The yolk also contains choline and vitamin D, which support neuromuscular signaling and calcium absorption, respectively. Recommendation: 1 to 2 eggs per day, boiled or lightly cooked without excessive oil to retain nutritional value. 3. Fatty fish, for example, salmon, rich in omega-3 and vitamin D. Salmon and other fatty fish, for example, mackerel, sardines, are excellent sources of EPA and DHA, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids that reduce systemic inflammation and improve muscle insulin sensitivity. According to a 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, supplementing with 3 grams of omega-3 daily for 6 weeks significantly increased muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Moreover, salmon provides natural vitamin D essential for calcium absorption and muscle contraction. 4. Lean meat and poultry, high in creatine and heme iron. Lean red meat offers readily bioavailable heme iron, essential for oxygen transport in muscle tissue. It also contains creatine, a compound that replenishes ATP, the energy source for muscle contractions, and enhances exercise performance and muscle hypertrophy. Note: opt for fresh, minimally processed meats and limit intake of processed options, sausages, deli meats. 5. Nuts and legumes, sources of plant proteins, magnesium, and healthy fats. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and soybeans provide not only high-quality plant proteins but also unsaturated fats, vitamin E and magnesium, all of which reduce inflammation, support mitochondrial function, and improve neuromuscular signaling. Recommendation: a daily intake of 30 grams, about a handful, as a snack or incorporated into meals like salads or yogurt. 6. Leafy greens and broccoli, antioxidants and micronutrient powerhouses. Spinach, kale, and broccoli are rich in vitamins C, K, folate, and phytochemicals like sulforaphane and lutein. These compounds reduce oxidative stress, promote collagen production, and strengthen connective tissues and muscle fibers. Tip: light steaming or sautéing helps preserve nutrient density while improving digestibility. 7. Bananas and sweet potatoes, electrolytes and sustained energy. Bananas are rich in potassium, vital for nerve function and muscle contraction, while sweet potatoes provide complex carbohydrates, vitamin A and dietary fiber, offering steady energy release during and after exercise. Usage: consume 30 to 60 minutes before or after workouts to optimize performance and recovery. 8. Dairy products, protein and bone health support. Milk, Greek yogurt, and cheese supply high-quality protein, casein and whey, calcium, and vitamin D. Whey is rapidly absorbed, ideal post-exercise, while casein digests slowly, making it suitable for overnight muscle repair. Example: a glass of milk or 100 grams of Greek yogurt post-workout supports muscle recovery and anabolism. 9. Avocados, monounsaturated fats and anti-inflammatory nutrients. Avocados offer oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that reduces inflammation and enhances fat-soluble vitamin absorption. They also provide potassium, magnesium, and vitamin E, important for reducing fatigue, improving circulation, and protecting muscle cells from oxidative stress. Application: use 1/4 to half an avocado daily in salads, smoothies, or whole grain toast. The complementary non-nutritional factors in maintaining and restoring muscle mass. Although nutrition forms the foundation of muscle health, several non-dietary factors play equally crucial roles. A comprehensive and effective approach to muscle preservation must integrate resistance training, sleep quality, stress management, and inflammation control. 1. Resistance training, the primary driver of muscle synthesis. Resistance training is widely regarded as the most effective intervention for improving muscle mass and strength. Unlike aerobic exercise, resistance training activates fast-twitch, type 2, muscle fibers, which are particularly prone to age-related atrophy. Research shows that low-load training, 30 to 50% of one repetition max, performed to muscular fatigue, can stimulate hypertrophy comparable to heavier loads. This makes resistance training accessible and effective even for older or frail individuals. Recommendation: at least 2 to 3 sessions per week, incorporating compound movements such as squats, chest presses, rows, dumbbell lifts, and leg extensions that target major muscle groups. 2. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT. NEAT refers to energy expenditure from non-structured physical activity such as walking, climbing stairs, gardening, and standing instead of sitting. Higher NEAT levels help maintain metabolic rate, reduce fat accumulation, and improve insulin sensitivity, factors that indirectly support muscle preservation. Real-world example: a study at Mayo Clinic demonstrated that individuals with high NEAT, greater than 800 kilocalories/day, retained more muscle mass than sedentary individuals, even when structured exercise volumes were similar. 3. Sleep quality, a biological prerequisite for muscle recovery. Deep sleep, especially stage N3, is the primary period of growth hormone, GH, secretion, critical for muscle repair, protein synthesis, and metabolic regulation. Chronic sleep deprivation decreases GH output by up to 70%, while increasing cortisol, a catabolic hormone that promotes muscle breakdown. Guidelines: adults should sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. Avoid blue light exposure an hour before bedtime and maintain a quiet, cool, and dark sleep environment to optimize REM and deep sleep stages. 4. Psychological stress and mental health. Chronic stress activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, HPA, axis, leading to sustained cortisol elevation. This hormonal shift not only increases muscle protein breakdown but also reduces exercise adherence, disrupts sleep, and compromises immune function. Effective stress reduction strategies include mindfulness meditation, yoga or tai chi, deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation, social connection and community engagement. 5. Inflammation and oxidative stress control. Low-grade chronic inflammation and oxidative stress accelerate catabolism and mitochondrial dysfunction in muscle tissue. Interventions include diets rich in polyphenols, berries, leafy greens, green tea, supplements such as omega-3 fatty acids, curcumin, and resveratrol. Maintaining a healthy body weight, avoiding smoking and excessive alcohol intake. A 2021 clinical trial in Japan found that elderly participants supplementing with 2 grams of curcumin daily for 8 weeks significantly reduced levels of IL-6 and TNF-alpha, markers of systemic inflammation linked to sarcopenia. 6. Exposure to natural light and circadian regulation. Morning sunlight exposure helps reset circadian rhythms, improves sleep quality, and regulates hormonal balance, melatonin, cortisol, testosterone, all of which affect muscle anabolism and recovery. Suggestion: spend at least 15 to 30 minutes outdoors daily. preferably in the morning. VI. Conclusions and clinical recommendations. After thoroughly analyzing the biological mechanisms, risk factors, and the impact of both nutritional and non-nutritional interventions on muscle health, it is clear that muscle loss is not an inevitable consequence of aging. Rather, it is a complex but modifiable process when addressed proactively and comprehensively. 1. Summary of key findings. Sarcopenia can begin as early as age 30 and progress over time, especially among older adults or those with chronic illnesses. Major contributing factors include reduced muscle protein synthesis, MPS, increased breakdown, hormonal imbalances, chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and sedentary behavior. High-quality protein, especially leucine-rich, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, magnesium, and antioxidants are key nutritional elements for muscle regeneration. Resistance training, quality sleep, stress control, incidental physical activity, and circadian health are vital supportive components. 2. Clinical and public health recommendations. Based on the current body of evidence, the following strategies are recommended. Routine screening for sarcopenia in individuals over 60 years old using simple tools like hand grip strength, gait speed, and muscle mass estimation, DEXA or BIA. Personalized nutritional counseling to ensure adequate protein intake, greater than or equal to 1.2 to 1.5 grams/kg/day, in high-risk populations. Community-based resistance training programs, particularly for older adults, guided by physical therapists or certified trainers. Interdisciplinary care involving internists, dietitians, physiotherapists, and mental health professionals to deliver comprehensive management. 3. Future research and policy directions. Further investigation into the role of the gut microbiome in amino acid metabolism and muscle physiology. Development of personalized nutritional supplements using genomic and proteomic technologies. Integration of sarcopenia prevention into national public health agendas, especially within elder care initiatives. Academic conclusion and public health outlook. Muscle is more than just a physical structure, it is a reservoir of protein, a metabolic engine, and a cornerstone of independence and vitality. In an era where life expectancy is rising but healthy life expectancy is not keeping pace, safeguarding muscle health must become a top priority in both personal health strategies and public policy. With the synergy of modern nutritional science, healthy lifestyle practices, and evidence-based interventions, we can take control of muscular aging, ensuring not only longer lives but stronger, more autonomous ones.